She wanna woo.
Hip-hop is deeply intertwined, some might say synonymous with gang culture. Either way, it's one of the strongest elements to hip-hop. These artists often find themselves in life-threatening situations based on the reality that comes with being a gang member.
Thousands of fans of Grammy-nominated rapper and community activist Nipsey Hussle are in a state of shock today. They are mourning the hip-hop star's ultimately and violent death. Nipsey Hussle was murdered in broad daylight outside a clothing store that he owned in South Los Angeles, and he was killed just before he was about to meet with city leaders and the LAPD about reducing gang violence.
Cheryl, tonight friends say it was a Chicago rapper who was gunned down here on one of Chicago's ritziest streets. They say 2 other people were also shot when 4 gunmen, witnesses say, jumped out of cars and fired from just a few feet away.
According to GBI, rapper King Von and his group were at Opium nightclub before making their way here to Monaco Hookah Lounge, then to the parking lot where chaos ensued.
6 men shot, King Von and 2 others dead, 3 injured and being treated at the hospital.
The rapper, who went by the name XXX Tentacion, is dead following a shooting in Florida.
How many more artists have to die? This is a question the hip-hop community should ask themselves. Do they continue to praise the lifestyle that threatens their life, or can they abandon what brought many of them fame in the first place? Diana Kenny, a professor of psychology and music at the University of Sydney, examined the deaths of more than 13,000 pop musicians and found that a shocking 51% of deaths among hip-hop musicians were murders. 51% of these artists who are no longer with us were murdered. Kenny explains, these musicians are in a much more occupational hazard compared to a soldier in a war zone. Pop Smoke would be one of the latest additions to these statistics.
A young rapper by the name of Pop Smoke shot and killed inside his home here. Actually shot here in his home in the Hollywood Hills and then later died at a hospital. His death being confirmed by his record label this morning, and some of his fans are even coming by here to pay their respects. Let me show you some pictures from earlier. This happened around 4:30 this morning. And you can see LA Fire Department paramedics responding. They took a man out of the home on a stretcher. They could be seen trying to resuscitate him as they brought him to an ambulance. The man was taken to Cedars-Sinai Hospital, where he was pronounced dead from gunshot wounds. Police are not identifying him, but it's being widely reported, including by his record label, that the victim was the 20-year-old rapper who used the stage name of Pop Smoke. Now, according to one report, there was some kind of party or gathering at the home prior to the shooting. At some point, men wearing masks and hoodies showed up, came inside, and opened fire, gunning down the rapper.
Pop Smoke was one of the hottest young rappers out of Brooklyn, New York, where he was born and raised. His first hit song was Welcome to the Party, a gangsta anthem that glorifies shootings, killings, and drugs. With this lifestyle, Pop very well knew what would likely come of it. He took many precautions while in New York, but was caught lacking out in LA. He was out in LA to celebrate the release of his second mixtape, but what would become of February 19, 2020 was nothing to celebrate about. He was out partying and sharing his high-end lifestyle to social media, something that would lead to his ultimate demise. Hoover gang members wanted that lifestyle, but they didn't want to work the way Pop had. They wanted it the fast way. The social media post that would do him in was a 10-second video of him flashing his new bags, which unfortunately had the address to his Airbnb he was staying at in the Hollywood Hills. Another picture posted showed him and a friend holding large sums of money in front of the house he was staying at, with the street number visible in the background. 4 Hoover gang members took note of the social media post and showed up late that night to attempt a robbery. They put multiple rounds into him, and he wouldn't make it out alive. Los Angeles police detained and questioned his friends who were there with him in the home, but escaped without as much as a scratch. Suspiciously, they refused to work with the police, and what little they did offer was proven to be false. As the pandemic began its ascent, many months would pass with no leads. Then in July 2020, LAPD arrested and charged 4 individuals in relation to the murder. Video surveillance obtained traced the suspects from the rapper's Airbnb all the way back to Hoover Street, an area infamously known for its gang activity. The 4 suspects only got away with Pop Smoke's watch, which was later sold for a mere $2 grand. Pop Smoke lost his life for $2,000, and these 4 young men lost theirs for the same thing. The 2 adult teenage suspects are Corey Walker and Keandre Rogers, both charged with robbery and murder. And the 2 underage male suspects, who can't be named because of their age, face the same charges. The youngest of the 4 was the one who pulled the trigger, 15 years old the night of the attack. They are all currently incarcerated and waiting on court.